Good to see you, Frank. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, great to reach over a microphone and shake your hand.
That's the way it works. That's the way it works here. Thank you for coming in here.
Yeah,
brother.
absolutely.
So the 4-syllable words, when did you first realize that those are the perfect words for Jim Rome to say, Frank?
I don't know.
When did that happen?
Phenomenal. I guess it came from that. Ridiculous. Incredible. I don't even. Did I say that, or did you guys say it was the 4-syllable words?
No, I think that's what you said, right?
I don't know. I say a lot of stuff that I don't remember. Arugula. Ridiculous. Arugula. Phenomenally ridiculous. Arugula.
Yeah. Hysterical.
Historical. Your birthday. How great is that?
Yeah, right.
47 years old. This is probably the greatest birthday. What is that? Is that jade? What stone is the 47th birthday?
I do not know. Opal. I'm trying to think in my head. Believe it. Tourmaline. Is that a 4-syllable gem?
Tourmaline.
It's just thinking of multi-polysyllabic birthstones. Is what I'm trying to come up with right now.
Yeah. Well, the Rome. You don't see him as much anymore. I wish he did because he was in so many places for such a long time. Yeah. When I used to travel, driving across the country doing shows at colleges, I would hear him everywhere. And then everybody tried to become him as far. Could you make that camera louder? Thanks. How great is that? I'm on the air trying to do the greatest segment this show has ever seen, and a wheel is squeaking.
We have squeaky wheels on our jib. Squeaky wheels on our jib.
I almost went Trump on that. It was the most tremendous show in the past. Right now, you were doing an incredible show. You really were. The Rich Eisen show for your birthday, the #1 birthday celebrated by anyone. This is obviously the 47th birthday. Jim Rome hit on that. He did a tremendous job. But the ratings went up as soon as I got here. And what I'm going to do is build a wall between you and me. And I'm going to make the Chris's pay for it because that's a problem. By the way, Chris, with the greatest eyebrow raise in any commercial anywhere.
Thank you.
Talk about not multi-syllabic, but like you raise your eyebrow so much in that Draft Ops commercial. It's like, should I do it again? Like, was the director like, that's good. Oh, it's good. I'll do it again. Here, I'm raising.
That's pretty much how it went down.
Law has the comic timing and acting ability of a silent movie star.
It was. And the first time when you see people, and you guys are in the set and everything like that, and that's what was funny to me is when you see people outside, like when I see you here, I obviously know you guys, but then I see you in different places, and I'm like, why do I know that? Like, that happens to me constantly. People meet me and they're like, wow, who are you? Like Frank. No, they do that all the time. And then I'm like, Frank Caliendo. They're like, oh, who? The guy who does the Madden. Yes! Yes, you're much shorter than I thought.
Is that the imitation people ask for the most from you? Which is
Madden get that a lot. Barkley. It depends on what people like. You know, it's always that kind of a situation. Pacino was an older one. Yeah. Gruden's becoming it now, man. I'll tell you what. How about some birthday wishes and caviar dreams for you, man? I'll tell you what, Rich Eisen. Without Rich Eisen, there would be no NFL Network, man. There would be no Audience Network without Rich Eisen. You know what the Audience Network would be? The One Guy Clapping Network. Because that's all they'd have, man.
He hits you too. Gruden gives you the little tap too when he hits you.
Gruden's a powerful man. Like, he's only like 5'9", 5'10". You'd think he's going to be 6'5" or something like that. You see him, he's not a huge guy, but for some reason his chest is the size of like a 12-foot man. Like, it's just, he walks around.
He walks around.
Yeah, call him the rooster. Can the camera get?
Yeah, go for it.
He actually walks around like this, like a chicken in the coop.
It's the funniest thing. He walks around like the cock of the walk sometimes. Yeah.
One time he's like, we get there to Monday Night Football, and we get there, like, I hang out there all the time. It was, Tirico was there, and he's like, he comes in the room because Gruden's like the funny guy. People don't expect that.
Yeah.
You don't think
he is.
Oh yeah. He's very funny, but he gets in there. He's the guy who's the funny guy, though. Don't try and be funny around him. That's one thing that all the Monday Night Football guys are like, this is great because you mess with Gruden because he's usually messing with everybody else. Yeah. He gets in, he's like, hey, how's it going, Mike Tirico? How many sports you announcing today, man? What are you doing? Would you wake up and do some basketball? You doing hockey now, man? What do you do your own podcast on the Masters? What do you do? How's your day going, Mike Tirico? Do you use his full name all the time? Why wouldn't I? That's his name, man.
Well, it's 4 syllables.
Mike Tirico. Did you count that out in your head, man? I tell you what, Eisen, 47 years old, and you are not losing a step as far as arithmetic. I tell you what, I'd love to see you do some geometry, man. You do trigonometry? You ever do that? Sine and cosine, man?
It's more than
Sine and cosine.
Trigonometry.
Pythagorean
I love
theorem.
I love your
Pythagoras. Dude was great at finding the most direct way to get there. How incredible is that? Pythagoras. Before Pythagoras, people would go the A squared plus B squared route, and now they just go C squared. I'll tell you what, man. That's a direct line. That's a line of pursuit right there. Pythagoras, I'll tell you what, he's like a J.J. Watt Pythagoras, man. Instead of taking the right way around, man, he just throw you out of the way and go straight through. I wore those new J.J. Watt shoes, man. I jumped on top of a semi.
I love your Schefter, by the way. You've nailed Schefter. I mean, you have absolutely got
Because
him
people
down
told me
pat.
that there's nothing to what he says, but there is. You just make sure that anything you say at any time, if contradicted, there's a known reason that it could have happened. That's Eisen going up. That's Eisen walking upstairs. Not Eisen. That's who am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I'm doing Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter on helium.
That's right.
According to my sources.
Oh,
at
man.
this particular time, it appears
Yeah.
that I'm not sure what is going on here.
He's such a good guy. And
Oh, he's great.
Who-
He's a super professional. I ever tell you, like, I texted him one time, like, where are you at? And this is how precise he is. He's like, I'm at the doctor's office. Receipts to the left from the receptionist who gave me a little bit of trouble when I got here. What? No, what city are you in?
you don't need the GPS coordinates.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
was
72
exactly
degrees. What? What are you?
He's so earnest sometimes.
Yeah,
You're
no,
just
he's
like,
the great. He's super nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny because I said, "Man, you've got 44 million fans on Twitter." He goes, "I don't know if they're fans."
It's good.
I go, it's a broad term. Just accept it. You have 4 million people following you. That's crazy.
Does Stephen A. like the imitation?
I have to say that it's understandable. That's another multisyllabic person who does a great job with everything. It's so funny because it's Rome, with Stephen A. and George W. Bush, and I just make them up. So, that's what you could do that with Stephen A. too. I'm polymorphic. It's like those old Right Guard commercials. You remember those? Like the odoriferous emanation?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm speaking right now. I have odoriferous emanation. And I just say to you, but I digress.
Is there anybody at ESPN? Because I know Terry sometimes wasn't too fond when you were at Fox.
Here's
or Howie and those
well,
guys.
They're kind of an act. Howie, I don't know. They were just used to Kimmel just killing them.
Crushing.
Yeah. And
Right.
I'm, like I've always said, more cherubic. Yeah, being chubbier helps. Even though I've lost a bunch of weight, it's still not skinny. But you know, Kimmel would just like go at them hard,
Light him up.
Yeah,
he
just
did.
and mine was sillier stuff. But the part of the gig with Bradshaw is it's just easy to do. You know,
It's a
like when
target.
football season comes around, there's nothing better than a Terry Bradshaw commercial because you know he's not doing what they wrote for him. You know, everybody else in the world has to follow scripts.
I
Terry's
guess
like,
so, yeah.
oh yeah, he's like, hi, I'm Terry Bradshaw and I have shingles. Let me come in your living room and tell you about it. How about you sit in the car and call me from your cell phone? Why do you have to come in and tell me about shingles? Hi, I'm Terry Bradshaw and I have leprosy. Let me come and sit down to show you where my arm used to be. Look at this. This is where my arm used to be. Anybody see that? A lot of NFL stars have problems, but I got no arm anymore. It's not from playing in the NFL. It's from losing a limb to leprosy.
And he's off script on that one.
Yeah.
He's way off
Look at the
script.
Nutrisystem. I was tired of being fat and ugly. It's Nutrisystem. They don't do anything with ugly. I was tired of being fat and ugly, and I can't spell too good. But then I got Nutrisystem, and now I just won the spelling bee. Too bad my leprosy kept me from getting the award. I couldn't step up on the steps.
So is there anybody at ESPN that has taken a little bit of offense to
No,
what
I think
you've
people
done?
at the beginning struggle understanding that it's actually helpful.
What about Berman?
I think he was a little. I think he didn't know what to do at the very beginning, and then started because everybody. We may have talked about this before. There, little known secret. Everybody at ESPN, including interns, receptionists,
They all have an imitation.
security. Everybody has.
Yes.
You go in. You go in. You go. You show them your pass, and the guy in security's like, yeah, you get it. Let me run this through and see if you're gonna be, that. And could you circle? Nobody circles around the officer island like Frank Caliendo. But could you do that? Because we don't have to do that.
My Berman imitation always ends with the words, "We'll be back." No, it doesn't matter what you say as long as it ends with, "We'll be back."
I understand that the entire studio, and by the way, it's a fantastic studio you have here. You're doing a great job and everything. The Chris is over at their desk doing a great job lifting the eyebrows. And I'm not sure who the little miniature Brad Garrett guy is over there. But by the way, that was a great segment that you did with the birthdays out in the. I'll tell you what, man, the only way that segment would have been better is if you'd have had the IFB taken off permanently, man. I'll tell you what would have made that segment even better than that? Getting rid of the microphone in your hand, man. That would have been a pretty good segment right there. You just miming nothing. Meanwhile, the Chris's are in here lifting eyebrows. Eisen's doing his thing, man. I love Rich Eisen. He's 47 today.
We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back. I forgot. I was going to go
it's
there.
okay.
I had the callback,
It's all
and
good.
you got it. You
It's
got
all
it.
good.
That's part of being a comedy team.
Because actually, that's why I've got to take a break. Frank Caliendo is here. My God, I am crying. Irvine.improv.com to see him at the Irvine Improv tonight, or go to frankcaliendo.com to find out where he's coming to a comedy place near you. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Go to the Irvine Improv tonight or tomorrow to see Frank Caliendo. FrankOnStage.com to find how you can see him live and in person wherever you live.
There's a lot of places like, I just want to, because I know you're all over the country too, like Cleveland, Columbus, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and some different places in Indiana as well. So
you're all over the map. How many days a year are you on the road, Frank?
Just those.
Just
those. No, I really don't even know. I just take it when people say they offer me money, I go.
You're in.
So that's pretty much what it is. Like it's like I have agents that'll say, "Hey, do you want to go audition for this?" I go, "Well, no, it doesn't pay. So I'd rather just go make money."
That's a good idea.
And that's what I'm a prostitute.
Well, you were on our we were on our show a couple of Super Bowls ago. You were kind enough to come in when we were just a podcast in the NFL media
Yeah, I didn't
group.
know you were a podcast only.
I know, that's why you came back.
That's why I came in.
But you remember we had you call Mariucci as John Madden to try and get
and
him.
he was on it right away because he's like, "Hey, I just played bocce with him the other day."
That's what I
So I had to go,
Yeah, he's pretty good at it. Nobody's better than the mooch playing botch.
And we had this all planned out, and the whole thing lasted like 30 seconds.
He sniffed it out.
bit.
He sniffed it out.
Yeah.
It was a great bit that we had all planned.
It was a lot of fun.
And he's
Hold on, eyebrow.
and he sniffed that thing out. So have you met Trump? Have you ever met him?
Oh yeah, I did a sketch with him.
What do you mean?
Years ago at Fox.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in the middle of the sketch. We're picking games, and in the middle of the sketch, he stops the sketch. He's like, "Is this good? Does everybody think this is good?" Everybody around the room, "Yes, Mr. Trump. Fantastic, Mr. Trump. It's great, Mr. Trump. It's great." I was like, wait. Does anybody ever say something's not good? He goes, "No, and that's part of the problem, Frank. I can't get real answers." I was like, "Oh, he gets it." Like I went in there thinking, I'm going to dislike this guy completely. Not even the presidential run and stuff like that.
Sure.
Just because he seemed like a slimy used car salesman. There's two Trumps. I don't know if that's the same now, and this isn't like a. I'm not,
political statement.
Yeah, this is not nowhere there. So you watch him, and you know because you've heard other people say that, right? There's the Trump behind the scenes, and there's the Trump in front. Totally changes when he gets on camera. Yeah, it's like
You saw that in person.
yeah, it was really weird. And I don't. you see that a little bit like in sports, but you don't see it as much like you don't see Gruden when he's off camera. He's still that guy.
Oh, that's him.
He's
Berman's the same thing.
I'll tell you what, man. That's a really nice shirt you chose to wear today. Where you get one of those shirts, man?
And I think he's doing a bit with me, just trying to get.
I'll tell you what, that's a good shirt. You ever wear a tie with that shirt? It's a nice looking shirt that has it. If you get the accompanying tie, I think you're going to put that together real well, Caliendo.
But yeah, Trump. There's like, and we all do that a little bit.
Sure.
That's we all like. I always tell my kids. My son's 11. I say, if you're gonna say bad words, you're probably gonna say bad words around your friends. Just don't say them around me as much. I know you're saying so, but don't say them around your mom, even though she's got a potty mouth. But don't just try and understand that there's different audiences wherever you are in life. That's the reality of it. Try and be good, but it's gonna there's peer pressure and stuff like that. You don't have to succumb to all of it. But
So Trump is like that?
Trump is like he's totally different people. And what he said is, he does that when people catch him on certain things. He says the right thing, I think, in terms of politics that nobody else in politics really says. They said, well, you did bankruptcy. He goes, I was a businessman. It was a business decision. Well, then people can go, oh, yeah, that actually makes sense. Some people will go like, well, it's still bankruptcy.
Yes,
but he'll say, well, it makes sense for the, whatever that situation was. So.
And he uses words like tremendous. And
tremendous, luxurious. The only straight guy who could say luxurious and make it work. I mean, you watch Bravo, fits the culture there. This is luxurious. But you never go to your tough guy mechanic. How's my car?
I'll tell you what. That is one luxurious automobile right there. It's really true.
And he's friends with everybody. He's like, He'll say something like demeaning or rough on people. He'll be like, listen, America is losing its step. It really is. We don't even make our own pizzas anymore. We have them delivered. And I'm friends with Papa John. I spent a lot of time with Papa John. We played laser tag together the other day. He did a tremendous job finding me from behind the little area. But that was a great situation. And we understand. He's got that fishy look. If we put it with Chris's eyebrow.
Tandem.
You mean it's that easy to use this website? That's tremendous. It really is.
And how about Morgan Freeman? You ever met him in person?
No, I haven't.
Never.
That's when I really have wished that would meet, just because
That's
that
the one
LeBron letter was just like, he's one of those. He's a great actor too. So it's like I just really. I guess respect and enjoy watching him. So it's one of those. I was thinking when you guys were reading the NBA names, if I knew some of the names, reading some of the NBA names.
Here we go. Hold on a minute. I've got the draft list right here. Here you go. These are the draft results. Go. It's difficult, but so here we go. This is Morgan Freeman reading last night's NBA draft choices.
Yes. Number 1 to the Philadelphia 76ers. I screwed up 76ers. Number 1 to the Philadelphia 76ers, Ben Simmons out of LSU. Let's find somebody. Jacob Poteliter. Domantas Sabonis. That's not that hard. Georgios Papagiannis.
It sounds like a pizza.
I'll tell you what, man. Can I get sausage and some anchovies on that Papagiannis? Listen, you could have them delivered immediately.
Gershwan Yasubuele. Yabusele.
He's a Celtic.
Well, he is now, sonny. Wade Baldwin. Those are either. I'm looking for. Has somebody got Malachi Richardson? That's not that hard. This is almost as bad as that birthday segment.
No, this is Morgan Freeman picking and choosing which name to choose to read from last night's NBA draft.
Timothy Luawu. That's a pretty good one. Here we are, Sonny. This is a good one. I heard you talking about it earlier. Firkin Korkmaz.
He's from Turkey, Morgan. You know that? He's from Turkey.
I've been to Turkey, Sonny. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of Firkin Korkmaz out there. Pascal Siakam.
Well, George Bush would have a fun time with this.
Well, you got Scal Labasiri, eh? I could do these as a Gruen, too. DeJounte Murray, man. Tell you what. Vivica A. Fox Zuback. She's going to be great in that
It's a Laker.
Resurrection, man.
I think that's a Laker.
Oh, yeah. She's also a star of that Independence Day movie coming up. Vivica A. Zubek. Tyler Eulis. Jinanu Anuaka. Anaku. Anuaku.
Ah, that's actually good for Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
Jinanu Anuaku. That's where I met my friend Andy.
I got an applause break from 6 people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it would have been better if I'd have coordinated.
Do you ever,
had my
do you ever like
AFB
walk
and-
through the airport and kind of just do a character or mess with people in your actual
No.
life?
Well, I
ever?
found out, and this is true. This sounds like an impressionist bit. I learned how to talk out of the side of my mouth from Chewbacca Mom. And a few returns. That the people always say Madden. They'll always say, it's like, hey, do a little Madden. And I did this in TSA. I was like, boom, which is the wrong thing. And like I said, it sounds like a bit, but stupid me. I don't. It's like it's a reflex. Somebody says do some Madden, I go boom, so I don't really have to do it.
Yeah.
And I just did that in TSA, and just people looked all around. I was like, oh crap.
Jinanu Anuaka.
And that's when I lost my pre-check.
And that's when the little check mark was removed from Frank Caliendo's ticket. And it was time for him to give up some spaces in his body he thought he'd never have to give up.
I'll tell you what, man. I go to TSA just for the check, man. I go in there, I wear a couple of watches. I'll tell you what, man, I end up with some type of, I get a swim move. Nothing beats a TSA swim move, man.
By the way, this is Gruden on and off.
He's always
the same way. When I saw him at the draft in the hallway underneath the this theater.
What are you doing down here, Eisen?
He makes you feel like you're not supposed to be in places. He's like,
John,
How'd you get down here?
I have a credential.
You got a credential? You make that credential? You make that at home, man? You make your own $20 bills, too? You know, those are the most circulated, Rich. You probably know that, don't you, Rich Eisen? I'm using your full name, just like Mike Tirico, even though it's not 4 syllables.
Actually, it is. Rich Eisen is 4 syllables.
Eisen.
Richard Eisen is 4
Richard,
syllables.
yeah. Something tells me you got a problem with your count.
I do now. Oh, my gosh.
You got a silent count, just like Aaron Rodgers, man. 4 syllables. Last one silent in the Rich Eisen world.
Frank, you are the man. Thank you
right.
for coming on
No,
my
absolutely.
birthday show and making me laugh like this. You are really
happy birthday to you.
fantastic. FrankOnStage.com. Go to the Irvine Improv tonight, Friday, and Saturday. Tickets, irvine.improv.com if you happen to be here in Southern California. Thanks for coming on, Frank.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You bet. We're back in 60 ticks the clock to reset the stage.
Epic.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.